Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Helldivers 2. We had a great session of Wild Traditions. Definitely a great time in between, though I really need to start recording those. I will definitely start doing so, and maybe do compilations of them. But either way, yeah, we had a great time there. And now we're kind of talking about Scar while we're going to do this, and we're using the TF talkies, and yeah, fun times.
And I'm gonna bounce now since I'm actually dozing off. Have a
Alright,
good
see you,
night,
everyone.
everyone.
Sleep well.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Have a
night.
good night, everyone. When you all go to bed. Wee.
Oh, incoming message. Okay. I don't care about that. The Jet Brigade's campaign of terror? What?
It was something that happened during the construction of the DSS.
Democracy Space Station.
Ah.
But yeah, doubters. I know that's very much a longer term thing, which is why I'm not like going super hard on like suggesting it right now. But I think this would be a very good addition, not just to help out new players, but also I do know that there will be some players that prefer that kind of thing. And I think if it's fleshed out enough, it could offer an alternative progression system where, you know, instead of having XP, the storyteller is just giving you milestones and upgrades. Like, you know, you can choose one of the upgrades after a certain milestone, or once you get far enough, you can go up the tier of your starting, you know, path, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just as an alternative system.
Yeah, I definitely see the appeal. It's definitely going to be very secondary to a lot of other things. Is just my thing about it, because like, you know, we have so many other things that like need to get worked on, and I'll be real. While I know I'd have to be the one to do this, I also have like so many other bugs in the oven, like in terms of like projects and systems and all that I constantly need to check on here. So definitely like the idea. I just literally don't have time to pursue that at this moment, because this is a very busy time of year at my work.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm not trying to push for it immediately. It's just because Seda was talking to me about classes, and I've had a couple of chats with him, and I just wanted to give you that short little update so you'd be a little bit more in the loop of how some of those chats went between us.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just letting you know that like the idea, agree that it's something that we should probably pursue in some fashion. Just also firmly labeling it as a maybe not right now.
Yeah. Those basic starter packs just to help new players get their feet wet. Probably a good idea slightly sooner than later.
Yeah.
That's something that anyone can make, I think.
Well, yeah, but also it's hard to go wrong during character creation, but also, like, you know, if I'm going to be the one that's making the sheets, or making the... Basically, I was going to wait until we put out the survey for the sheet, get back feedback on that, to determine what we're going to do about it, and then I'm able to revamp the sheet into version 1.4.1. And, like, you know, QA check that real quick. Then I'll make all those, like, sheets as, like, you know, a starter pack thing. And we can include those builds as, like, you know, a starter pack, but that's gonna probably be happening somewhere, if I'm right, and generally how long it takes for us to get the responses and then have the dev session. So, like, probably somewhere mid January.
Yeah, I'm not pushing to like rush you on it or anything. Just
Yeah.
these are thoughts that I've been grappling with lately. So.
No, like I get it. I was just trying to come up with a rough timetable about when it would even be feasible to have it appear on this right now. Because I'm definitely not making it right now because we're about to go through like an entire process of putting out a questionnaire about the sheet, revamping the sheet, all of that stuff, which also means I'm going to have to like spend a good amount of time.
Watch out where you guys are standing. I might have accidentally called the Tesla tower too close.
Whatever. But yeah, it's just a.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a thing where I'm just trying to make sure you know when to expect this sort of stuff as a possibility, even at the earliest. Because right now we're definitely not doing it. Because if we're about to revamp the entire character sheet, why am I'm not going to make a bunch of like character sheet starter pack stuff.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I did want to bring up. I kind of got the idea for the magic system and martial arts to kind of follow similar to how Path of War, or not Path of War, the Spheres of Power does it.
Alright, where it's like disparate selections and you choose like different.
Kind of a combination between the primeval features and, yeah, the similar to the Spheres of Power there.
Yeah, because I definitely like the Spheres of Power's customizability and how all that functions.
Yeah.
I think they definitely hit the mark on that one. But yeah, so again, I like the idea. We're definitely going to pursue some variation of that because it is just a good idea. I just have so many other things to do because, like, you know, I'm in the middle of making the whole like animals thing. I don't know what to call it right now, but you know what I mean. I'm in the middle of that. I'm gonna have to go through a lot of these new feats that are getting implemented just to make sure they don't break anything. I'm gonna have to actually explain some of the more esoteric jank in like documents that I can send to Zim.
One of these days I got to get around to actually making a couple of characters myself and playing around with the character sheet and getting actually familiar with that stuff. But
yeah,
similarly, you know, working retail, Black Friday, it is the worst time of the year for me, so...
Yep, and it's the same for me.
So between that and trying to get art done and stuff like that, I really...
Yeah. Because I'm also in the middle of making rules for damaging items, objects, what their health and saves should be. And then again, also after we do the version 1.4.1 like sheet update, I'm also going to be making like an entire guide to the character sheet. So like, I am definitely going to be a busy man. And the yeah, it's I have so much stuff that I want to do for the system and not enough time to do it.
Oh god, I know that feeling.
Yep. Well, one thing that really like slows me down, and like this is a thing that like I can't stop doing because it'd be a really bad idea to stop doing, is that I kind of habitually will just sit here and go through a lot of the new shit and see what sort of stuff it's potentially breaking, and then determining if it's like a problematic kind of breaking or a, oh hey, that's kind of neat kind of break.
Also, I have been thinking about the healing. I'm at least in current terms from what we're seeing in the streamed campaigns, because obviously I don't know anything that's going on for Utah Dairies. I actually kind of worry it might not. I don't know. It's difficult because infinite healing is totally fine as long as like it has an opportunity cost in the action economy. And Rin has been very unlucky, but also at the same time, even rolling well, it's definitely not really going to compete very well with proper damage output. So I don't know fully yet. Maybe it's completely fine because once you're out of combat, like, but then it's also preventative healing, and
Come aboard, Helldiver.
it's only for the scenes. So,
Yeah. So the thing about healing. Healing takes a much bigger role when you actually have a health pool worth healing.
01000. That was the first intercepted bot message.
Right now, where most of the characters are, for example, in Wild Traditions, because we just had that, Nova is a massive outlier because he has 13 health. Because like a lot of Nova's power budget right now is just in his raw health pool. So he has a lot of health, and he can take a lot of different hits and stay standing generally, like as a rule. But for other characters that are sitting at like 9 health, the thing is that we are such low numbers on evasion, integrity, and health pool that healing doesn't really do too much because we get hit very often and we take a lot of real damage very quickly very often just by minor deviations in luck.
I mean, if
So-
you want to apply,
Sorry, go ahead, Ethan.
if you want to apply a concept from other games, effective health is the product of your base health and the things that make you resist damage in some way, whether that's evasion or like reducing the damage you take, whatever system you have.
Yeah, which is
healing
yeah.
is more effective the greater the modifier that affects your base health is, naturally.
Yeah, which basically is what I'm getting at, where right now, because our effective health is so low, the healing also is not very... It's not as impactful as it's going to be. It's sort of also a situation where healing is not as good early game as it is in any other stage of the game. It is very much so possible for like a healing build to do a lot for the team, especially once I will say once we get one more attribute, and Rain is able to actually gain like XP cap and do a bunch of stuff with healing. What we're going to start seeing is target additional ally stacking on the healing moves, and all of a sudden like half the team is getting that preventative health shield every single like turn of that Rain has. So what we're likely to see is the healing to almost exponentially grow in terms of amount. It's just that right now we're effectively level 1 characters in terms of like other games, so our shit sucks.
It's also just that Wild Traditions, we've had more combat these, since we started than I think most of the other campaigns in their long run time.
Yeah, but I will say, because we're the equivalent of level 1 characters, and we have an XP cap on our moves for standard actions of 30, like, our moves right now are mostly garbage. And that's by design. Like, by game.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wasn't certain because of, the question of how it scales over time. But what I was noticing, even if Rin were to be rolling closer to average rather than being cursed, I'm pretty sure all of his actions would technically be better if he were devoting it to actually attacking instead of, not really doing a whole lot of healing, because action economy theory and all that. But that's a little bit power gamey.
Well, yeah, okay, so the thing is that we can even map this slightly. So, in terms of his rolls, obviously there's a decimal point, but I'm just going to go by, the standard SCAR math rounding for, like, his expected value, which is technically, the expected value of his heals, because he's rolling, like, 5 dice. So the expected value is 2.2 repeating, for the amount restored, and then obviously add 1 at the end for his true heal thing. So, let's just factor that in. He is expected generally to heal about 3 HP with his healing action right now, which obviously is not that strong, especially considering that we generally don't have a massive health pool, so we're generally either missing almost all of it or almost none of it. But this does also have the effect of, let's say he just keeps it at that, and then when we get our next EXP thing, or EXP cap raise, he just slaps, we have, 4 additional targets and plus 1 more heal power for another 30 XP. That would mean he could heal everyone in the party, so long as we're, like, grouped up, at once, with an expected heal value or shield value of about 3. Which, that by itself is actually very, very strong in terms of things, because now in terms of action economy, he's effectively going to be, for most of the team, I'm just going to go by, I'm excluding Nova from this because he's a statistical outlier with his health. Nova's going to have 15 max health. That is a statistical outlier. Most of the team is going to have 10. 11 or 10. Or between 10 and 12, maybe. Which is going to be a 25 to 30% increase, effectively, in max HP. And that's if he just does it once. If he does it every single turn, with even just a preventative shield, that's actually going to be very impactful towards the survivability of our party, especially considering we have people like Spike, who is going to have garbage damage saves.
I pet the yeen. Who's a good boy?
So, mathematically, the expected value of Rain's like heals and saves is only about 3, but that's also about to be 3 towards every single member of the party every single turn for one of the heal actions.
I will say, for balancing reasons, I've been thinking that we should have additional targets increase for cost based on how many, but otherwise, yeah. God, I forgot how much freaking bots suck.
Oh, I missed my railgun shots.
Yeah, I was ever since the game like came out and like I was playing it, I was a certified creep crawler. I love fighting the automatons.
Also, Ibzem, you've got a job.
I do?
Yes. I want you to find... Oh, hi. That works. I want you to find the super samples. Also friendship.
Okay.
I will say, just out of interest of like the discussion, Shade has a self-heal, which is fairly strong. It rolls 15 dice, and because he uses it on himself specifically, what that ends up meaning and looking like is an expected value of 8 healing every single time he uses it, and he can action economy launder to do that twice a turn, which means if he focuses on healing, on average he's healing 16 health a turn and can still attack.
Yeah, when you have infinite healing like this, it's certainly, you know, the main concern is the action economy.
Yeah.
5th edition is kind of... I don't like healing in 5th edition because it really feels like it's totally pointless to heal at all, because the action economy sways so heavily towards just deal damage and kill the other, kill the foes. So there is an amount of balance to be had there. And, you know, alternatively, you don't want to have the situation where you're going to be severely hampered if you don't have someone spamming heals constantly every single round, because that's also kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing that affects healing in 5e is ping pong healing, right? Or yo-yo healing, where you wait for someone to down and then you heal them, because then they are immediately not rolling death saves. And that's just the most efficient way in terms of action economy to heal people. It's not to heal them while they're still up.
Yeah.
At least in combat.
We don't have that problem, luckily.
Yeah, actually, the way we've got it set up is if you do that, you're actually going to be... They're going to be hurting from it.
Yeah, because here's how Scar balances that. In our system, if you go down, generally speaking, you will be taking a stack of wounded. Generally.
Right, yeah, makes sense.
Which what
I've
wounded does is it reduces your max HP by 25% for every stack you have to a maximum of 3 stacks. So if you wait for your teammates to go down, they are losing max HP.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've played CRPGs like Tyranny as well, where if the party member goes down, they'll get a stack of wounded, but you also can't get them back up until they're out of combat, so...
Yeah. For ours, you can keep bringing them up in combat, but that also runs the risk of they can get another stack of wounded now, and...
Oh, I'm jammed. I'm jammed.
Rip.
I'm still jammed.
But yeah, it's a thing where in Scar the infinite healing is infinite, but you need to actually invest in it to make it worth the action economy generally. Which I don't think is a bad thing. And also, it does not solve all of your problems, specifically because, you know, wounded stacks are still a thing. Healing is great and all, but it doesn't solve a lot of problems that can occur for your team. Specifically, like, a healer is good and all, but what if the opponent is, for example, spamming out a bunch of stun stacks to try and take the action economy lead, or is doing something where, you know, like, healing is good, but what if their win condition isn't dealing damage to you? Which definitely exists in Scar. There are multiple ways to do a build where you literally don't care about actually dealing damage. Most of those are somewhere in the condition sphere. But there are a couple of others. The very obvious one is if you're a move reliant person, having someone focus on sealed, the non-damaging sealed condition, can literally just nuke you out of the fight if you aren't able to second wind it away. For those who don't know, sealed, what it does is it does things like raise the cost of your actions up a tier. So like, you know, quick becomes standard, standard becomes full, full remains full. And then also eventually turns off all moves.
There's a friendship door here.
What other things to bring up with this topic?
Objective located. South.
So dead, I'm so dead, I'm so dead.
Where am I supposed to be taking this hard drive?
The main objective.
Is that not where I am?
It needs to go over to... No, it is there, yeah. There should be a terminal. Usually it's across the
there
bridge.
it is.
Yeah.
The ground speaks binary.
Bro.
There's a crate here which I can't open because I don't have any explosives. Actually, maybe this can open. No.
Sorry, Tal, I'm still at work, so I occasionally I'm having to talk to coworkers, but I was mostly listening. And yeah, like, I haven't really played around with the numbers or actually trying to make builds myself, though. I think I have a good enough understanding in theory. It's just I haven't really messed around with it much yet.
Yeah. It's
and
not
part of it
hard
too.
to... Oh, man.
Part of it too, because this is a concern I know Seda had about the healing. Part of it too is it's also going to change once, you know, the other stuff gets put in. Like once we have items, that's going to feasibly have more access to healing as well. Once we have magic in, there's probably going to be magic healing. I can't imagine too much healing in martial arts, but you know, hey, those monks can do crazy stuff, right?
Probably it's going to mostly focus on self-heal a little bit more than anything, but
yeah. Yeah, so that's also something that'll change things around a little bit too. And you know, once that's in place, maybe moves ends up getting adjusted a little bit. So,
yep.
You know, it's kind of a wait and see.
Yeah, right now, healing is in... It's not, like, I'm not happy with it, but I'm definitely okay with it. Because it's definitely a situation right now where I feel like there probably is a better way to do it than how we're doing it right now. Not in, like, a massive way, but like in a probably better and healthier way that is pretty similar to how we're doing it right now.
Guys, I'm stuck on the radio tower again.
I'll be heading towards you now then.
I'm heading over in a second. I finally got my stuff back.
Yeah, I think so too, Tal. And I know, like, when I first heard of how the healing system was being built right now, I was surprised that, like, you didn't bake exhaustion or soul cost or something into it to create some sort of basic cost to using healings. Yeah. But
we had that originally.
It's certainly the case with the low HPs and the way combat flows, it kind of works out. I do just have like those very slight concerns here or there, and you know, part of it also is most of the string games don't do much combat, so it was nice today in Wild Traditions to just actually have things happen.
Yep. So I will say, we did originally have it, but we explicitly tested that out of the system because it was ungodly awful.
It
What do you mean you're
felt.
stuck?
I literally cannot exit the radio
Maybe you just
tower
stay
here.
I think
Huh?
you just need to kill him and have him respawn in.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
do anything.
It's one of those things that it sounds like something you might want, but upon like further examination and experimentation, it's very obvious that it just doesn't work very well.
Yeah, it was literally god awful. Like,
Yeah.
there was no reason to do anything healing ever.
And it's one of those things like healers already have a shit time as it is in most games. They already are struggling with resources. They don't get to do a whole lot. Why punish them more?
Yeah. So we originally had it for, like, balance reasons of, hey, it is kind of cancerous to be able to just heal constantly forever no matter what. Which is then where we went with the whole, okay, well, what if we just, by standard, make healing temp? And then we relented on that a little bit and went, okay, well, there should probably be, like, an expensive trait to make it, like, actual true healing.
Gap, could you go align the tower,
Sorry,
please?
give me a moment. I got knocked into the water and I can't really do anything.
Okay.
That actually makes me incredibly salty. I have heals, I have guns, and I can't do anything because I'm too busy swimming, even though I could literally touch that with my feet.
Unfortunately. So, yeah, no, it was basically just a thing where originally we had it, like, cost... It was, like, god-awful in terms of, like, the cost of it. Then we relented on that, and then, like, it's just slowly moved towards being more and more like this, where we're like, okay, they should have this, they should have that. And now it's kind of where it's at, where I definitely think we could still do better, and I want to still do better. It's just also right now understanding that it is in a healthy enough state as it is that I don't see the reason to focus on trying to improve it slightly.
Yeah, I definitely get that for sure.
Yeah, it's come down to a matter of it's working. And why fix it? And we also have it set up where people can actually enjoy being able to do more than just healing, because you can absolutely tack on a tiny bit of healing onto your moves to, oh, I'm doing an attack? Well, here, have a heal over here.
Yeah. Or just, like, you know, tap some life steal onto it if you're just like, I just want to have a little bit more survivability on my high damage move. Which
It could
does result
I
in some
feel-
weird drain tank builds, but, like, honestly, whatever.
I might feel really good once Rin gets a little bit more development if he really keeps going down the full-on healer build, because I know Asher was supposed to be quite a healer, but DRS just... Oh.
This hamlet shall not fall. Shrieking Ecodemeca rated my stream with 13 viewers.
Let me know if it's aligned.
It's aligned, it's aligned.
Perfect.
Hey, Danica, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in. How was your stream? Thank you so much for sharing your community with me. Would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up? And also apologies because, well, for those that know Helldivers, it's a bit hectic of a game. But yeah. Did some Dark and Darker? Nice. I need to check out that game. It looks interesting. As freaking expert Yeen over here just instantly gets that.
I got it wrong the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he's... Oh, we got him. Nice.
Yeah, but you still did it so fast.
What were you saying there, Ryan?
Who?
Oh, before the raid.
Just that I might feel better once I see a little bit more development with Rain, or if I end up playing around with the numbers and seeing what it looks like.
Can we wait
Slightly
on
more mid-game
Rocket Pod
characters,
for
but it's
the cannon turret, please? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. But it's like, of all of the games, Asher and Magna were supposed to be medics, but DRS never really had too much combat. Lost in Chaos just hasn't had real combat since like episode 18. Starlight hasn't had real combat since almost ever. It's rough. It's rough to see some of that stuff. So
Sorry, that turret is aiming at me, and I don't want to move out of cover.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it. I was planning on waiting for rocket pods to be back up before we attack this.
Oh, what the? I didn't realize this was machine gun dudes. Ow. Across the screen is my die.
Oh, hello, Hulk. Goodbye. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh god. Too close.
But yeah, healing builds are sort of just in a spot where it's like I look at it and I'm like, I feel like we could do better, but it's okay. And like with a bunch of other things,
that was a terrible spot. I'm so sorry.
I am the
I have the steering, I can
motherfucker in
steer.
Tarkov.
and like a bunch of other things with the system that are like on the to-do list, but not like really high priority. It's like it being okay is good enough for now. I know that we've, for example, we've had, what was it? Fucking finalizing the condition update with actual descriptions and like clarifying everything on the to-do list for like how many months now?
Yeah.
Like, we just keep not touching it because it's like we look at it and it's like, okay, well, people know what it means for now. So, like, you know, it's working for now, and then we go work on other stuff, and then we're like looking back like, oh, wait, shit, we never did the... we never actually finished condition update. So, you know, it was just... It's just in a pretty similar situation.
It's kind of a, alright, Danica, thanks for coming by. Yeah, we do all sorts of things here, guys. Hit that follow button, come join us again. We're kind of talking about our, tabletop system called SCAR for playing as Pokemon, Digimon, Monsters from Monster Hunter, and more. Right now, just some dev talk while also doing some Helldivers. So yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just in the situation of it being fairly, like, it, we know it, but it's also, well, not too...
Last reload.
We can let it sit there for a while, and it's not gonna break or affect anything, or be, like, god-awful, so... Considering everything else, that's probably just where it's gonna be.
I need someone with explosives here. There's a crate.
1 second. There's just a big stinky dude here. Okay, kill the big stinky.
There's another crate on the other side of the map which I was unable to open as well. That's what I get for bringing a stim pistol and then going off on my own. I can heal you though, if that makes it worth it.
A good support
Thank you,
team.
Happy. I appreciate it. But there is a reason I carry the support pack in it, so I can stim myself without ever having to worry about anything.
I have 24 stims in this pistol. I might as well use them.
respect it.
Zim.
Yes.
I do have one thing that I need to ask of you that is in relation to how things should work, and this is healing related, so I'm just gonna bring it up now, which is, let's say there is
An AoE, and it's just like, you know, an AoE circle nuke. And someone puts preventative lifesteal on it. How does the lifesteal get applied? Because it is, technically speaking, one attack.
That is a great question.
Dropping item.
I cast Big Suck.
I would think immediately either the lifesteal purchase should make it applies once per attack by default, and then there could be a very expensive upgrade to make it apply per target to allow players that option if they really want to invest in it.
Yeah, it's just more about, like, right now, that is a gray area, so, yeah. Because technically speaking, right now, since it is treated like a single attack, by rules, it should technically lifesteal everything that's hit, but also, like, that can obviously turn super ridiculous really quickly.
Oh my god, they dropped them on top of the cliff!
The machine gun dude just stared at me and I died.
I see.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
good at that sometimes.
What am I doing?
the way my brain was processing it is... Sorry, go ahead. Zim.
What's up, GibCap?
I need to respawn him. I'm busy dealing with the... Or never mind, I got it. I need you to please land on it. It's the only one I can't kill.
Can you ping it?
That dude.
Yeah, I'll aim.
Thank you. It's the only one I can't kill.
So you were saying, Raijin?
Appreciate it.
There's another.
Not your problem.
Rare sample collected.
So,
Actually, it's the problem for the Eagle 1 pilot, who did not solve it. Where's my railgun?
so to answer that, I think we'll put in a... Go ahead and make note of this in the to-do list there, Tal.
Yep.
For applying AoE, it's going to count as single target. So you can only get lifesteal from one target per use of something with lifesteal.
Okay, so applying lifesteal, not applying AoE.
Oh, sorry, I think I cooked you slightly.
Because you said applying AoE is single target.
Yeah, I meant, like, applying lifesteal,
Yeah.
it's only a... You only get to apply it to one target.
Over.
All right.
So the way I understand it syntactically is if you do an AoE attack, is it the case that one dice roll applies to multiple targets? Or can you choose to roll damage dice against each individual target?
You can choose.
You can choose to. By default, you'll just make one attack. You can choose, which is why I'm like, okay, this is, you know, this is something that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here. So the syntax in my mind was just thinking like, even if it's an AoE, you're still only making one dice roll. But if you are choosing to do multiple, like all you have to do... No, these are yellow. Okay. All you have to do is just clarify that the syntax that lifesteal you know, you're technically only rolling one. You're only rolling once per attack, even if you're choosing, you know, multiple targets or something like that.
Yeah.
If anyone has anti-tank, I'd really appreciate the help.
I can come over with the railgun. I'm just gonna clear this POI.
I'm running over to you.
Speaking of anti-tank, they just dropped a tank.
Yeah, that's
Oh
all
no,
I need
you
help.
didn't. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a whole
You
tank.
can.
I'm gonna call in the extraction.
Right, I'm coming over.
Oh god, that's a... Okay, never mind, that's a Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the tank?
It's somewhere on the other side of that rock.
Okay.
The way that I put it in the discussion thing was you can only apply lifesteal on a single target in an AoE.
Please land on him.
Tank spotted,
Yes.
should be dying. Oh, my OPS fell short.
Because, you know, technically speaking, with how it is right now, you can technically just, like, you know, get a maximum.
Well,
I died by
I guess another way to put what my thoughts are is that even if you're doing an AoE move, you're still making only one attack, even if you're choosing to re-roll it for every single target. If you choose to re-roll, that doesn't magically make it multiple attacks. And lifesteal should only apply once per attack.
Yeah, well, technically speaking, that means that it's applying once, so you take the damage that you've dealt and get 50% of it as lifesteal. So technically speaking,
Yeah, I
what that
guess
would
I can-
also mean is still you just take all the damage you
Yeah.
dealt post mitigation to every target, put it all together, and then take half of that, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I see how that can get confusing in syntax then. So
Yeah.
definitely extra clarification on lifesteal as well.
Yeah. The
So you know that was one primary thing of, you know, I could definitely see
can't.
some sort of like hyper expensive thing where you're allowed to apply it like per target, but like also like that could result in literally making it so that way someone could 1v me
Careful,
at a
you're
very
really
low level, at a very low attribute total.
Is it dead? It's dead.
Nice.
I just landed on it.
Good, good, good.
And I'm gonna die again.
Good, good. I have, despite all odds, developed a good aim with this grenade launcher.
Thank for the
Oh,
bot drop coming.
Nading it, nading all of that.
I'm
we
gonna
need
call
to
the
find this.
extraction.
Yeah, we need to find the samples as well.
Oh, they're here, they're here, they're here.
Well, no, I had some of them, but not all.
Ah. I can't call this right now.
Oh god.
There's so much stuff here. We're not clearing the bots fast enough, and they're just chain calling reinforcements on us.
yeah, it might be time for like eagle spam or something if you guys have that.
I can't.
I
hold
got
on.
some.
But yeah, that's one that's a little bit iffy on, you know, the whole.
It's just you.
I know.
Oh no.
Sending in an eagle.
Not that way, not that way, not that way.
Don't go that way. There's a Hulk to your right. Oh no.
Oh
I see
god.
you.
Stim and run away. Stim and run away.
Another bot drop.
40 more seconds.
Yeah, I think this might be one we lose.
That's fine. Just run behind a rock for 40 more seconds. Run away if you have to. We still have
We've got 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just run away and come back later.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna run.
Just run.
Just use stims. Use stims. Use one preemptively.
I tried.
Nope.
Oh.
All right.
Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Yeah, it's definitely something where we should limit it, even though, well, you know, logically.
So here's an alternative thought. How about some sort of function that you can utilize to entirely nullify temp HP?
Welcome back. Democracy's reach extends
Um,
further thanks to you.
So we've talked about implementing something that cuts through temp HP. The problem is that we didn't want to completely invalidate 2 out of 3 types of healing. Because that would be really cancerous for healers, because it would effectively mean that it's entirely possible to have everything you do invalidated unless you buy the really expensive true healing tree.
Rage against the enemy's tyranny. Join them.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, this is definitely up to you guys. But personally, I don't really like the idea of it being okay for a player to just going all in 100% nothing but healing. And the reason why I say this is because in 4th edition, there was a feature you could use, which was basically pacifism. It doubled your ability to heal, but as a drawback, you basically couldn't attack anything ever. And while fun in theory, it was actually incredibly horrendous for the balance if anyone actually utilized that kind of thing, because it created such a boring, it just made all the fights boring. And I'm kind of concerned about that same thing happening if the healing abilities are otherwise too powerful in general, especially when basically anyone can use them.
Yeah, so the thing is that while we don't want to completely
By the
invalidate...
way, hey Delimited, hey Flaz.
We don't want to completely invalidate healing, but we also don't want to make it, like, you know, super strong. And I will say right now, healing is not actually super strong. It's effective in what it does, but also if you dedicate your character to just healing, and nothing else, you do... Obviously, like, against certain damage types, you're really good. Against others, you're okay. There are other, builds that will just clap your ass so hard. And you cannot get away with just going healing with nothing else in the long term.
You okay there, Kip Cap?
Yeah, I clapped his ass.
So, given that, Tal'Daria, since you know the balances and how you would personally rate all the builds, at what point does this potentially become apparent to the player that just wants to be a devoted support? Is it so late that, you know, once they start getting countered like that, they have no recourse to, you know, fix their shit?
Well, first of all, it's never too late to fix your shit, because we do have it in the thing where you're able to refund things at times where you could spend XP. Now, we encourage that you have, like, you know, a narrative thing that you go through over the course of doing this, but there is, technically speaking, by rules, nothing stopping you from going, hey, I don't like how this move is working. It really isn't working for me like I thought it would. When we rest, I'm going to refund the XP and revamp how it works to work differently. But let's say you're married to the moves. And let's say you kind of do what Rain's doing right now, and you have multiple healing moves that you're working with. In terms of investment, you're probably going to get to 3 or 4 in medicine pretty fast. Because if you're healing, you want to get medicine skill. Let's say you also pick up another specialty, so that's another 15. So let's go on the more expensive end. So 50 XP in terms of skill XP. I'll say 45 because if you're doing a heal build, you're probably starting with a free dot. So 45 XP invested. Another 15, bringing it to 60, including the specialty. And let's say by the time you start figuring this out, in terms of everything, you would definitely know for sure by the time you start playing around in the 15 to 19 attribute bracket. So let's go 90 XP in the move cap. So this is just assuming, like, you know, standard action moves. You would be about 180, 240 XP into the build, effectively. And obviously you've dedicated attribute points, but, well, you know, you can always pivot. Because soul is a really good attribute to have. So you would be about, like, you know, 240 XP into the build in terms of actually investing as a dedicated healer. And this is just assuming that, like, you know, you try to get away with just healing and you don't do any of the other very available, very powerful support things that you have access to. Because a pure healer will work okay-ish, but does not scale very well in terms of things, but that's also the same as almost any other build if they refuse to diversify at all.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, like,
yeah.
I'm fully aware that there's way more that you can do to support than just heal. Like, there's plenty of conditional options to choose from. But what I'm coming from here is that while this isn't something that I would personally struggle with, but with how vast and complicated the system is getting, there's starting to be a point where newbie traps are a very valid concern. And you don't want someone stuck in a newbie trap for too long that they get disinterested before they can diagnose why something isn't working the way it is.
Yeah. So that is part of the reason why we literally have the rule that says you can respec your, like, you know, XP expenditures at times when you can spend XP. It's specifically so that way people can go, hey, this, like, I don't like how this is working, I'm gonna try something else. Because I'm just gonna be real, if people are getting to the point where they're disinterested on something like that while they have that available to them, then that's more a them problem than anything else.
It's one thing for them to stick to their guns. It's another to sit there, because it's not like with D&D where, for example, with Echoes of Eberron, I went with the Ranger build. I was enjoying it until we got closer to the end, and it's like, I'm just getting nothing now. I want to revamp. But in D&D, you can't do that. You're stuck. Not at least by the rules.
It depends what you're designing towards, honestly.
Yeah, it does, but either way, it's still, you don't really have the option to pivot.
Yeah. It's definitely a sucky experience in those systems when you can't change your build. But I think some systems specifically designed towards your character should feel like they don't change a huge amount in that sense over the duration. So it's more intentional.
It's just a situation where we made sure that there is an option for people who are becoming disaffected, disenfranchised with their character build.
Yeah.
And so this does also mean that if you are not having fun with your build and you don't think your build is working, or you just want to try something else, you are allowed to. You're just able to. And so this does also mean that, like, let's say you're trying to do a pure healing build and you're not feeling impactful, and you consciously are choosing to not do any of the other support options that are available to you. That is honestly, like, at that point, it's kind of on you for it, because this is the same as someone going, hey, I want to do a damage build, and then getting like upset that they aren't being that effective because they don't want to invest in any sort of self-stat changers that increase their damage or their ability to do it. So, for example, healing. If you're doing healing, you're also probably wanting to make the healing that you do more effective. One way of doing that is by increasing the defensive characteristics of your teammates, so that way your healing goes away slower and it makes it more effective. Which means that if you're doing a healing build, one thing you're also probably going to want is stuff like increasing the integrities and soul saves of you and your team. Because that would make it so that way the healing that you do is more, and it gives you now this other avenue to explore of your character. Where, like, you know, let's say they are now also, like, you know, granting some good defensive buffs. And then, like, you know, you realize, oh, hey, I have all this stuff that I'm doing, but, like, you know, I don't really have a good way of stopping damage. How do I stop damage? Okay, protected and insulated, those are two positive conditions that I can help my team with. And then, you know, maybe you get a little bit worried about action economy.
So, like, is this
then,
while we're talking here?
Or that.
Gotcha.
Get off one of these systems. Start focusing on everything.
What's up, Rachel?
Right about you. I work.
Yeah, I think he accidentally unmuted.
Yeah. So it's just a thing where there are options available to you to diversify and expand in a way that supports the main core ethos and everything of the build. And if you don't want to explore those options, then, like, you know, honestly, nothing I can do about that.
Yeah. Also, Ibzan, you should totally take me down the black potion route.
I will.
I think at this point I'm just realizing that I'm kind of traumatized by some of my past D&D groups, where most of them literally didn't even read the player's handbook for the easiest Dungeons and Dragons edition in existence.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, like, consider that in what I think might be future problems.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate that, but so, again, yeah.
On that front, unfortunately, there is literally nothing we can do to solve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Zim, I have played with way too many people that were literally your rogue tank dude.
Yeah.
And I'm here like, but what if we have someone that's trying to do that? How do we fix the game for them?
I ain't gonna bother.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, I'm just gonna put it this way. At that point, it's just the meme where the guy sticks, you know, puts a stick in his own bike wheels and then falls over and starts crying. And it's just like, my guy, you have other things. You have other options. You have other things that you could try and do. We've put in rules to help make sure that you aren't, like, you know, stuck with something that you hate. Because no, like, why would we want that? That sucks. And if they don't want to read the rules, and they don't want to read the book, and they don't want to explore other options because they just have one idea and they don't want to try and think about how to support that idea, there is no system that we could ever make that they would ever bother reading, and they'd have problems anyway.
You can change the rules to help them, but if they're not going to read the rules, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Lucci, the rogue tank that Raijin is referring to in particular is one where he was pretending to be a fighter. He dumped his dex. He dumped his constitution. He had a really high strength, really high charisma, but he wanted to be the party tank. And also, he sold his leather armor and bought padded armor. So he literally downgraded his armor.
Yeah. So it's like, if people are going to do that kind of stuff, where like, let's say I want to play a tank character, and I never put a point into evasion, I never put a point into integrity, and I wonder why I'm getting one shot. It's like, there's nothing that we can do to help people with that. That's like, it's just a situation where, like, as developers, like, obviously I want to make something that will give everyone a good experience, but I also know, just from being experienced in this space and having met people, that there are going to be people who, if you let them, would attempt to drink a rock, so...
Or
you
like
mean you can't drink a rock?
Or like in the case of Vari, where I am certain he is never going to get rid of that chance to berserk, or to self-berserk, or self-distract, or such, like things like that.
Helldivers to Hellpods.
And yeah, Lucci, that particular player got really upset because he kept dying, and it's like, you're working with 6 HP, dude. And like 12 armor. And you're the one that is deciding you're going to be on the front line. Ain't working.
Yeah, like it just does not work.
The funny thing about that is, like, as we started getting into this discussion further, I started realizing, and I believe, I don't know if this was the one that Lucci was in with me or not, but I started remembering this campaign where I was basically playing everyone's characters, because almost none of them read, like, they didn't even read what their classes did. I had a cleric who picked their domain and didn't even read what their domain did.
Wow, this sounds like me when I joined Starlight.
Yeah, nobody read Poker Roll, and then we had a whole fiasco with Starlight where they didn't read the Scar book at all, and we finally got them to fix that, I believe.
Yeah, I think we got them to fix that. If by nothing else than me looking at them and going, okay, now roll this.
An extra completely separate. It runs like another system entirely, but the main thing, because it was from like a Malapody system, and you just read your single species that you picked, and those were your starting bonuses and stats that were included in that. And one of the people is playing a bad pony, and they have a specific like screech attack they can do. And it took like 2 years into the campaign for them to go, oh, that's where I find the stats for that attack. And I'm just like, oh my god. What? Not even like your species? Did you read nothing? No, they hadn't even opened the book. I'm just sitting here like, why?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just it's just a thing where like I know where to cut my losses on this. And like
it still doesn't sit well with me that we can do unlimited healing. But at the same time, healing is... It could be phenomenal, but on average, it's not going to be. So, while it doesn't sit right, there's other options.
Yeah. And, like, you know, because
Also, let's
of
get
the
this
build...
next mission going.
And because of the build diversity, like I mentioned, like, you know, people who are doing healing and are interested in healing are naturally, if they're actually, like, you know, trying, will naturally be interested in things that amplify or increase the effectiveness of their healing. So,
so I will say, sorry, go ahead, Cal.
I'm just going to say, so that does mean that if they are actually trying, they will end up diversifying their build naturally just in order to get things that help and amplify their healing.
On the subject of infinite healing, though, I will say my favorite system of healing that I played with was actually 4th edition. Despite the pacifism feature that kind of broke it, I really liked, just in general, the way it worked is everyone had the pool of hit dice. But the pool of hit dice was a bit more substantial than what you saw in 5th edition. And whenever a healing class used a healing ability, it was a very small roll, plus you could spend a hit dice to recover. And that's something that was sorely missing from 5th edition, I thought. And that kind of makes it so that, you know, in 4th edition, since a lot of healing powers were at wills, you could basically spam them infinitely, with the caveat that the individual user receiving the heal might not be getting very much out of it anymore. That would require, like, just taking this outright and trying to apply it to Scar doesn't quite work right now. But I do see, like, there could be potential to be inspired by that. And it could be, like, something of a solution or something similar to that, to bridge the gap from infinite healing to not be so ridiculous in Zenzides.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a system. I'm just trying to think about how to actually implement that with Scar without it just, like, turning into a mess.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could, the healing abilities, I don't know, reduce the, or increase the cost of the power, but whenever you heal someone, they're also allowed to roll a singular dice up to the total of their attributes per long rest.
Yeah, the only thing
And they
is
just take the face value of that.
Yeah, the only thing is that that's introducing an entire another, like, point pool
Yeah.
system to keep track of for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. And also being able to just straight up roll a d10 per healing move is very powerful in the early game and falls off hard later, so no, but I don't know. I do like that concept where being able to use the abilities infinitely is fine, but the person receiving the heal cannot necessarily just receive it infinitely without running out of a resource themselves. But with all of the point counters we already have,
Yeah, I think having, like, the amount of point counters we already have is about as high as it can go without it being, like, an unwieldiness.
Incidentally, I don't know if you guys checked, but I did post in suggestions just to kind of get the discussion going. An alternative with body and mind to give them functionality similar to soul, but I'm hesitant of that specific suggestion just because that is making, you know, you are offering a lot of decisions on every single roll at that point between vigor, willpower, soul, and adding those two as well.
Yeah. It's it's definitely like a situation where we need to include something, I think, in terms of functionality for body and mind, because otherwise, like, you know, again, soul is just literally the best attribute in the game right now. And basically, like, you know, even if you're not a primary soul, if you don't go at least secondary soul, you're kind of trolling a bit.
North, 200 meters.
But let's see.
There's a gunship fabricator. I pinged it. I need to get my railgun back if we want to shoot this down, though. I think it's our only anti-air. Oh dear.
Let me try something.
I will say combat tends to work out pretty well right now, even with, like, you know, infinite healing included. And assuming that, like, you know, you spend a little bit, like, and invest in healing, even just in, like, some self-heals, it still works out pretty well.
Okay, that one's down.
I will say it's definitely worthwhile to invest in even a little bit of self-healing. But so I think that's where I can just leave that part of the discussion. For secondary pools, one thing, because I don't know if we want body and mind to create new pools of resources in terms of, like, how soul does. I just think that they need to have an effect elsewhere on your character that actually matters. Like, you know, for example, body increases the amount of bulk that you can have. But also, that's if you even care about using the bulk system in the first place, and I know there's going to be groups that give exactly zero shits about it.
Yeah.
So, having things like that available, where, like, you know, even if it just increases some other thing or affects some other thing by having it, would be enough for me. It just needs to be, like, something meaningful that gives you a reason to be happy that you've invested in it. Beyond, like, you know, the standard, like, oh, hey, this increases my damage slightly, it increases my accuracy slightly, and my defenses slightly. Because, like, you know, increasing a primary attribute just generally will increase your combat effectiveness, because that's, well, they're all designed to do that. The thing is having something else useful that they affect.
Yeah. Did I mention this earlier, by the way? I was kind of wanting you to do a list for Tuesday if you can. Mostly because you're kind of the most familiar with the book as a whole. Of different things that are impacted or scaled with different stats. Like, for example, you know, feats scale with soul.
Yeah. This was not asked of me specifically, but I could do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I would like a list just so we can go over that more easily on Tuesday.
Yeah. I will say, like, right now, just even at the face of it, except for things like, you know, your physical, like, basically, like, you know, body scaling your, you know, physical combat stats, and your mind scaling your special combat stats, it is... Body raises your bulk limit, And we have reached the end of things that having more body and mind really affect.
Okay. Oh my god, why are there 3 Hulks here?
Yeah, welcome
fuck
to
you,
why I
that's
fell
right.
back from this area. I saw this area and I was like, nah. This has got to be someone else's problem as well. Not just mine.
I can come over and deal with them. I'm just finishing up here.
This is why I categorically refuse to ever turn off 380 when I play. That is something where I just throw 380 at it and call it good.
Are you clearing a heavy base or something? Yeah, it's a heavy base. There are 3 Hulks in the heavy bases. Okay, I'm gonna try and get them from this range.
I still don't like it, but I'm gonna throw this suggestion out anyway. What if you could choose between body, mind, or soul to be the option that is the dice that you reroll, or alternatively, you choose which one you have, and each of them have that slightly different utility. But you can only have like one of those per character, or something like that, so that you're not technically increasing the pool of dice, but you're not limiting what's available to characters, you know?
I can't see the back of the 3rd one currently, or the front to get it with the railgun. I'm trying.
Got him.
Okay, I'm running over now.
I said the shotgun can also do the trick as long as it's just not looking at me.
Yeah, if you have stun grenades, you can run around the back and blow them up pretty nicely.
I don't have a stun grenade. I only pack explosive grenades. Why would I pack a grenade that's not explosive?
Because stun grenades are awesome.
I don't believe in non-explosions. If the solution isn't lethal, is it really a solution?
Oh, that's a laser.
I got tired.
Understandable.
No, it's fine. It's just need to be careful of the fire it leaves behind.
Ah yes, the super laser piss. But yeah, so I understand that it's a really easy solution to things, but I don't like the idea of them just choosing one attribute to have it scale off of, and then like it just works the same for all of them. I don't like the idea of that. Having them.
I don't like it either. Sorry, go ahead.
Having them choose what kind of dice has more merit for me in terms of like, you know, like, oh hey, if you choose body it does this, if you choose mind it does this, if you choose soul it does this. The main objective nearby. Problem is that I also feel like we kind of struck gold with how the soul dice works. And we'd have to make 2 other comparable and just as good options for them. If we wanted to make alternates.
I feel like we could make other options. I feel like we could pull something off.
Yeah, it's just, you know, trying to think about it. It's just more like, because like the problem wouldn't be coming up with like a decent idea or 2. The problem is making all of them like, you know, comparable to each other.
Yeah.
Well, we can consider a soul dice to be an expected value of plus 1.4 repeating, right? Because you remove a 1 and then you have an expected roll of 0.4.
Yeah. Well, on a standard difficulty roll. It depends on the difficulty of the roll, on what the value is.
Now your pedanticism is getting in the way.
No, we're bringing up expected value. I need to actually bring up the expected value. By the way, the way that you check just so that way you're able to run these calculations in your head. Standard difficulty, 0.4. Every difficulty it goes up, decrease the digit by 1, and every difficulty it goes down, increase the digit by 1. So if it goes to difficulty 6, 0.5 repeating. Goes to difficulty 5, 0.6 repeating. That's how the math works out. So, like, you know, if it's a difficulty 9, each dice has a value of 0.2 repeating. So,
I'm less certain about the mine suggestion I made, but the one I made for body, where you choose a die and consider it a 9, I think has very valid applications, because even though that's technically, you know, it's a 2 if you do it on a 1. Yeah, I guess that starts getting too powerful since you can choose
too powerful,
on a
especially because you can choose it if you have and vigor it, so that way your 9s explode, and now it's +3.
That's what I was thinking, but let's say you can body any non-failing dice. So then it's an expected value of 1 with the potential of vigor. So you can choose to incur an additional cost to make it more powerful that is substantially unique from the soul with being pretty comparable, I think. I'd have to, that's getting into a little bit deeper math than I can do on the spot in my head, but I think it's pretty close.
Did you fucking sample whore? Literally ran over to my samples, grabbed them, and then revived me.
I mean, does it really matter who's doing it?
It's the thematic of it. You would rather take my samples than revive me. Can't believe this.
Isn't it like one of the loading screen tips, right? Like you can warn your fallen squad mates later, but democracy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For sweet liberty.
In terms of how to make it equivalent in terms of expected value. So let's see. You're turning a 0 into a 1, so that has a thing of 1. In order to make it equivalent, we'd, in terms of, like, mathematically, just make it equivalent but does a different thing. We'd have to make it so that way they roll another dice. Maybe choose another non-failing dice to re-roll. So, you know, turn, but, you know, it...
So if you take the body as any non-failing dice, then you're getting an expected value range of 1 to 2-point repeating number based on it. But that 2-point repeating number is based on you using an additional resource for vigor, which that's, you know, it's more powerful, yes, but it's also a huge opportunity cost, because that's a lot of resources you're putting on one roll.
If we want to make it more gambly while still... Okay, so one thing we could do that makes it more gambly. The expected value of this would generally be lower. Actually, how do I make it... Can I make it so that way it's... Most dice pools are fairly decently sized. So, in order to achieve something similar to the 1.4, what if we just make it... This is slightly less, but turns into more if it's a role that you have a lot of what's the word for it? If it's a role that you have a low difficulty on. What if we make it so that way by doing it, you're able to choose up to 3 non-failing dice to reroll. basically scooping up some of the blank garbage in your roll and getting to re-roll those.
I certainly think it has potential to be fun to apply at the very least, in the way that Soul is fun to.
By the way, in terms of
Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Hey there, Wicked Sparky! Thanks for that raid. Welcome in. Oh god, I regret everything.
Yeah. By the way, in terms of the expected value of that one, that one on a standard difficulty roll has an expected value of 1.3 repeating.
Democracy has landed.
I am so salty. I had that in the bag and it was fucking missile. Missile rifles sucks.
But let's say you use that on a roll where you have like difficulty 5 and then like, you know, all that. It then now has an expected value of 2, which results in it having a much higher value. And if it's on a roll where, like, you know, you have garbage value on it, like in terms of, like, you know, a difficulty 9 roll, it does almost nothing. So this is something where, on average, it's about equivalent. On a good thing, it lets you extend that, and then on a, like, a disadvantaged state, it doesn't let you recover as much. And if this
Which,
is
honestly, I think that fits pretty thematically with body in general, too.
Yeah, which is what I was about to say. Thematically for body, I think that fits. Where it lets you power through a situation where you've eked out an advantage, but it also doesn't do much if you're hopelessly lost. Like, you know, if you try doing this on a difficulty 9 roll, like, you are in high desperation mode. And there's, like, no other way.
I'll certainly keep thinking on it for a little bit. Of course, at work, I don't think I'm going to really get much more ideas out, because I'm also having to think about Christmas candy right now, which sucks. But I'll leave it to you to mull it over and decide if you like that or not. Or, you know, alternatively, just figure something else out that isn't related to die counters for body and mind, but...
Yeah. I'm fine if they have to choose one, I just don't want to introduce a different one. If we make it all session-based, you could have them choose at the start of the session which one they use, maybe? I don't know.
I'm thinking...
But I also don't want to lock them in for the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm liking this idea. What I'm thinking is all of your primary attributes added together, then divided by 3. It's a little bit more complicated, but... then they can choose, you know... maybe they can use up to the max of their body or soul for each of the different types, you know?
I think at that point we should just make it modal and then they just have one pool to keep track of. Because otherwise now there's an overall, like, you know, 3 different modes that they have to keep track of, and then also an overall pool.
Yeah. Ow.
So... If we do that, it's just going to be modal. Where, like, you know, they have XYZ amount of...
How'd you like to take me?
I mean, we can't call them soul dice anymore, then.
Well, I mean,
in terms
it's
of, like,
boost,
the overall
so boost dice.
Boost dice, yeah. Boost dice. So
if you're making it modal, then technically speaking, you already solved the problem, because it's no longer explicitly tied to soul anyway. Like,
well, yeah, but, you know...
I, for one, am really liking the body dice option, as it were.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. So I think that that's definitely a good one, and then we can still keep the names by having it, like, be themed. Without it being, you know, because I think keeping the name
I've got
Soul
the supers
Dice,
already.
Oh, cool.
at this point, we've been using it for like 2 years. I like the name. I think a bunch of people like the name. So we can make it modal in order to like give a theme to it without actually locking them out of it if they don't have a lot of soul. What do you guys think about that?
Repeat that, the idea? Because you kind of rambled a little bit.
So, because we've been using soul, like, you know, I'm going to soul that as, like, you know, a verb and an adjective and all of that for so long, it's ingrained. I think that we should, you know, change it to boost dice, but keep the option that is the soul dice the same name, and we just theme them after the primary attributes. While making it clear that, you know, this overall pool you could use on any of the versions, and it's just a theming.
Extraction is available. Rare sample collected.
Because, I'm gonna be real, I give us a 0% chance of making people stop saying, I'm gonna soul that.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean that we can't necessarily, like...
No, I'm saying, like, the overall thing we can keep boost die. I'm saying, like, the modes. The modal stuff.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, we theme the different modes off of the different attributes, but make it clear that, like, you know, you aren't locked into it. This is just the theming. Because, I didn't want us to drop the name Soul Dice for the effect of the current Soul Dice, because 0% chance people are gonna stop calling it Soul Dice. Or I'm gonna soul that. No way. No fucking way.
Where did you die?
I just spawned me
Down
out
to the
where
south.
I went over.
I need to find this. Where's the mortars? They're over to the south.
You know, I'm gonna grab my stuff and I can probably handle the mortars.
Okay.
The mind one. How do we make this? How do we finish out the trio?
Really fast.
This time I'm calling in extraction now. Sorry, but,
Oh, good, I just had a lot of samples.
we could take a little bit of time to get on the ship, but,
He just wants to get the timer going.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I want to make sure that ship's coming before we get swarmed and can't call it down.
Yeah,
There's some mortars up here.
Calling down a support weapon.
But yeah, I really like the idea of of making it a generic boost, and based on which one you're using, will determine the overall what it does. As for how to limit things and stuff, I don't know if I like it being per session or anything like that, but we can probably figure something out on there.
well, I mean, the thing is,
or is the problem more just in general the concept of switching?
My game just crashed.
Oh no.
that's not good.
Oh god. You've got the super samples.
Not anymore, I don't think. You can just shoot me and take it.
No! Come on!
Oh god, you just dropped a 500 kg bomb. Ow!
I didn't. I'll fall from the cage.
I am dead and I just died from, Just grab the samples and get out.
No, how much time do we have to leave?
Just grab the samples and get...
Once the shuttle's landed, you have until the end of the mission, and then it starts a 20-second cooldown. Yeah, don't worry about me.
I'm so salty. I was running back to base, and there's a dead automaton on the ground, and I'm running over it. And I see like the body shift. No. I see the body of the automaton shift, and I see the tiniest hint of a mine as I run over it.
Rip.
Okay, Tal. I couldn't fully map this one out in my head, but here's a silly idea I'll throw at you. For mines, call high or low and roll a non-failing die. If you're correct on high or low, it counts as a 10. That EV is kind of hard to map out if you're also counting the true value of it too. So I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's
a little bit hard to math, but like, let's say you're in the most favorable situation possible and you have a 2 to roll. First of all, with that suggestion, what happens if it's equal?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Because you said high or low. If it's high or low, you never said what happens if it's equal.
Like if it's so you re-roll a d10. It's 1 through 5 is low, 6 through 10 is high.
Oh, I thought you meant high, like high or low, as in like higher or lower than the dice.
Oh, that's also okay. That's very complicated, but I was definitely just thinking like if it's a high roll or a low roll, regardless of what the previous roll was.
Okay. Well, in that case,
So basically, you have a 50-50 chance of getting correct. In which case, it would count as a 10. But then, do you also count like if you roll a success and don't call it correctly, which then you would just always call low. So it's thinking further on it. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. I will say the EV of that. I mean, it's very feast or famine, obviously. But the EV of that is 1.2 repeating.
Well done.
Because it's a 50-50 chance, so you just take, the good result, figure out the EV of that, which is 2.4 repeating, and then divide by 2, so it's 1.2 repeating.
Yeah, but once I thought harder on it and realized that. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm tired of bots. You guys good with switching back to bugs?
Yeah.
I just am so...
Bots trickier. The main thing that I think makes bots a lot harder is stealth mechanics in this game, and a lot of people don't know how they work, and you have to, if you want to play around the stealth mechanics, be extremely careful. Because basically when you shoot, there's a very narrow cone after the front of your gun that is the aggro region. So like, if you shoot across the map at a bot, it'll know where you are and immediately start shooting back. Same's true of bugs. They'll know where you are, but generally speaking, they're much shorter range, so they have to walk all the way over to you, and it's much less punishing.
And what annoys me about bugs is that they oh look, I got hit by the missile from a postal code away. Oh look, this dude also has like 20 missiles, and this dude also has a bunch of missiles, and I just keep getting stun locked and I die and I can do nothing, and I'm like, bruh. This is very fun. I've been on the ground for about 5 seconds and I get shot and die.
By the way, you capped on requisition. Just because like it caps at 50,000, and if you don't have all the stratagems unlocked, you might as well buy them.
Oh, okay.
Because they only cost requisition, and if you're capped, you're not going to be getting any more. So.
Oh my god! Why do you have 50,000?
I have 50,000 because I've unlocked all of them.
No, not you. Like Zim. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
What?
I kept forgetting to actually go buy stuff because I've been happy with what I've got.
I mean,
It's nice to have more options available, even if it makes everything move around.
I can relate. I literally basically mostly love using the grenade launcher, even if I mostly use it against. I should use it against bugs. Against bots,
You can use it against either. It's really good at killing Devastators and Heavy Devastators and Striders, which are quite relevant.
But it's like bad against the big armor dudes who are usually who kill me.
That's fine. You just need to think about your loadout and like its strengths and weaknesses and what you are going to need other people to cover in the squad.
I mean, see, that's where I don't mind when other people exist who can cover that. It works for me. It's like literally with bugs. As long as somebody can deal with Charger, I can deal with everything else.
Yeah.
I literally clear out heavy
So,
by like running a ring around them and just bonking grenades.
Charges, if you can hit the tail segment, aren't too bad, by the way, because... Oh, you know what I should do? We should all bring mortars. It's funny, I promise.
Sure. So they combine into, like, the ultimate mortar?
They Power Ranger up, yeah,
Yes.
it's great.
Ebzen,
Yes.
you're kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
Why do you think I took him? Why do you think I put that collar on him? He's adorable. He's a very good boy.
Will you share just a little bit?
I guess I could share. I mean, you are the boyfriend, so of course you get to, you know, enjoy the pets too.
Oh yeah, Zim. You ruined my night.
I'm sorry.
What are you thinking about that question again? Good Gabs?
Wait. So, the thing is, I went to the kitchen to grab something to eat, because after the cliffhanger, I realized my body has needs and I still existed in reality. And I wasn't just like a vehicle of listening to the tabletop session. And I went to get like a singular boiled egg, just to bite it out of pure spite. And then I dropped the egg, and it saddened me greatly to have to throw away one of the 2 remaining eggs, and I had to grab the remaining egg, and I was like, this is so sad. My day is ruined, and I am immeasurably disappointed. The only reason I dropped the egg is because I was shivering, because after the cliffhanger, I took off my sweater for some reason. I was just like, no. And then it was cold, and I was shivering.
I like the description. I like the description of being a vehicle of listening to the tabletop session, because that was basically the entirety of the first half of this year for me.
Yeah, I have made a strangely pleasant habit of like, since I mostly can't watch Wild Traditions live, I watch it on the way to work, and like, I'll basically pause, unpause, like every work trip. And over the course of the week I end up watching, and that's why like I'll take 3-4 days to watch it, but eventually I end up watching all of it and it's great. Anyway, yeah, I dropped the singular egg, and I'm sorry, but I will bring your now not going to me and drop an egg. My poor innocent egg.
I'm still just trying to think about what to do for mine.
Well, something that I was thinking is... I mean, a lot of them have to do with modifying your own role. But what about modifying an enemy role?
Oh, you want to create Lucky?
Still alive.
Oh, hi there, big guy.
Charge it.
Well, if we want to give it the exact same EV, while also giving it some situational usefulness.
Oh, that's rocket pulse.
Make it so that way its use is, giving -1 to the, like, face result of a dice.
I like that, because then you can, you tactically make the decision if you make a die not explode, or if you turn a 2 into a 1, except for the fact that storytellers are rolling in the tower, so, you know, how does the player know when to make that decision?
Thank you very much.
Probably by asking, hey, are there any 2s? Are there any 10s?
I would say it's one of those, like, they just are, you're just able to, like, remove successes.
Yeah,
so, like,
well,
if you...
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, if you are getting hit with a... Which would probably streamline things as well, but, like, you know... Instead of me asking for your physical evasion, I could just be like, okay, does a 3 hit or such?
Reloading.
To be fair, you could just ask that normally anyway.
Well, yeah, but meaning, like, if a 3 would hit but a 2 wouldn't, well, you impose your will, or your mind, and there you... Oh, God!
Oh, how do we kill them? I don't know how to kill impalers.
You shoot them in the fleshy bit when they're in the ground. Like the orange bit.
Yeah. Now, that is nice, but also the other thing is just that has an exact expected value of 1 with no deviation.
Okay, what's the current proposal for strength, or for body?
Body, take 3 non-failing dice and reroll them.
Why is that a trap corner?
So is that, like, 4, you know, by default,
yeah, like
2 through
6. By default. Like, you know, the random garbage, like, you know, you look at a roll, you have, like, you know, 3 5s just sitting there, you could scoop those up and reroll.
Okay.
Might help, might hurt, might do nothing.
Vile Titan.
But it has an expected value of 1.3 repeating on standard difficulty.
The mortar killed me.
2-note Soul, if you use it to reroll a
Impaler.
1, has an expected value of exactly 1.4 repeating. But the body proposal shoots that up to a expected value of 2 if you're on, like, you know, have a really like effective roll you're doing where you're, like, you know, you're strong on it. Like, let's say difficulty 5 brings it to, you know, having 2.
Have a rail plan for one of these.
EV. And if it's not a very good roll for you, then it has an expected value of like 0.6 repeat. So basically, good when you're in an advantage state, and awful if you're in a disadvantage state.
Can you ping the Bile Titan, please?
I don't know. Oh, okay, somebody got it. Well, I guess Gift Cap got it.
I will say I do like the turn of phrase, I impose my mind on you, take a -1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I'm just trying to think about how to make it have a similar amount of expected value.
It probably does need a little bit more power to match the others, but...
Yeah. Because, like, you know, if it was just, hey, -1 dice, or minus 1 face value on a dice, If you use that on a 10, that would have an expected value of exactly 1.4. So it's basically the opposite of a soul on the opponent. So it would exactly match the expected value, but also I could see where it would get complicated. So I'm trying to think about how to incorporate disparity across difficulty like already exists for the other two. So if we just give them -1 success, like, you know, that does kind of work, but also it's then weaker than their others. And we can't go to 2 because then it's, like, you know, way better than the others. So we need to find a way to get it into the middle ground.
Welcome back. Democracy's reach extends a bit further thanks to you.
Might be something we should make notes of what we've discussed and think about between now and Tuesday when we have our actual dev session, rather than this impromptu kind of, alright, here we are, let's do it. Which I am enjoying.
Yeah. One option is make it so that way they have to re-roll a critical dice.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Because that would sort of work in reverse. So that would get us decimals. I guess the only thing is that would then have an expected value of 1.5 repeating by default. So it is technically slightly stronger.
It is stronger, yes. However, it also only really has a use in combat.
Fair. It is generally more combat restricted.
So I'm okay with it being stronger when the use of it is limited.
Yeah, it's exclusively useful in opposed checks and combat.
Which, in the case of things like, you know, you're climbing up something, well, that's okay.
Yeah, so I can definitely see it. I'm just like, you know, I was just making sure that we were aware that it was, you know, mathematically a bit stronger. But if I am satisfied if those are going to be the 3 different modals that people can choose from, you know, for body, mind, and soul.
I impose my mind on the latter and it takes a -1.
Orbit synchronized.
I kind of like the idea of the body one more than the mind one, but I am actually satisfied with the mind one if it's like, you know, re-roll a critical dice. What about you?
I'm good with it.
Also, part of the reason that I jumped to the you know, the whole re-rolling multiple non-failure dice is because I've been trying to think of a way to give dice, like, you know, 2 through whatever garbage is like actual interaction instead of it just being dead results.
So, alright. And then for the pool, you good with, you know, add up all 3 and divide by 3?
That's probably the best way to do it. Which also reduces the amount of burden we have on putting things together with body and mind going into things, because if feats do scale off of soul, that still leaves soul as the strongest. It's just not, like, by far and away.
I am very much open to other suggestions for that. That was just kind of what I was thinking at first.
Yeah. No, like, it's just that this definitely makes it so that way it's like by an acceptable margin.
Is there a sports around here somewhere?
Alright, it is past 6 a.m. for me. I've literally been up for over 24 hours. I should probably go to sleep.
Get some sleep.
There's a Linky over here.
My bad for keeping you up late, Talbot. Oh.
Bye, Tal.
I
Tal
hope you
is
made
gone.
notes of it. Uh-oh. He did not make notes. Could you put a note of what we were talking about in ScarDev or suggestions, please?
I'm pretty sure it was just the body and mind dice, right? Because nothing really came out of the healing discussion, I don't think.
Yes. Yeah, that's really it, but still. Wanted noted down for the discussion on that. And in other news, Ibsy, you're a good boy.
You wanted it in suggestions?
Put it in dev.
Okay.
That'd be a great time to have HMG in placement.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a Shrieker nest there, and they can be shot by that quite easily. I'll just do it with a regular machine gun. Uses up a bunch of ammo, but there's some ammo here.
Are we sure it's actually... Okay, yeah, it is.
You see the red X.
Yeah.
So if you lie down, by the way, oh, you are lying down.
I wasn't at first, and then I laid down right as you said that.
There's some ammo here for you.
I guess since we're
So
leaving.
you get a hand with the drill.
What's up?
How's the drill going? The objective.
Oh, give gap?
Oh, I found artillery.
What's up?
He was asking how the drill's
Do you
going.
need a hand with the drill, or you okay?
Nah, I'm just killing stuff right now. I have no idea about the drill. I've never done this mission.
Yeah, I've never done this one either.
Got a sample.
I thought we did one the other day, but I might be wrong.
Rare sample collected.
Oh no, we didn't do one the other day. I was misremembering. So essentially, there's a drill. We have to watch it drill for a while, and then we can nuke the nursery chamber underneath.
Careful, there's a lot of bugs.
Oh.
I hear lots of bugs. I want to get involved.
I haven't been able to reload the grenade launcher for a hot minute. Now I finally am able to. Thank you.
Then I got the body dice, mind dice, dice pool sum of primary attribute divided by 3, and can only choose one boost dice at a time. Question mark?
Sounds good. I'll double check.
Was there?
Where's the Impaler?
Yeah.
Confirmed.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there was anything else that came up that was immediately.
He's
the rest of it was just discussing the healing stuff, and it was just kind of meh.
I stopped to enter a stratagem. I got tentacles.
Yeah, we were discussing the healing and such, but did not actually come to any. I think Tal and I are in the agreement that while it's not the best, it's the best we can probably pull off.
I just feel so iffy about it, and I don't really know why. Like, it works, but it just... I don't know.
I mean, I know that it's definitely strange for any tabletop player to be like, wait, you could just heal forever? It is probably the strongest.
It's also literally... It's exactly how Jericho felt when he was listening to a Wild Tradition episode recently. He was like, wait, infinite healing?
Sorry.
It's just ordering. There's another static field. We prefer that to smoke, probably. Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Well, it's kind of stinky.
Smoke isn't particularly useful in bugs.
It feels wrong to every part of being a tabletop gamer. Like, no other tabletop game allows that. Well, actually, I guess I should take that back. Like, you do have regeneration and things like werewolf. You've got...
Let's just keep moving. It's not worth fighting here.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Darkest Claw.
In my defense, despite having the most friendly fiery weapon, I have not yet killed any of you until now.
But yeah.
I am also kind of trying to forward with when weapons and, martial arts, magic, and items get fully implemented too, because those are also going to be high sources of healing.
Yeah. I know magic, its potential for power as a whole is going to be less than what you can do with a move. But its advantage is the versatility.
Rare sample collected.
Do you guys need a hand with the breach?
Oh god, that's a big dude, the stinky dude.
Vile Titan?
No, the armored
Spore
one.
Charger?
The
Oh,
charger.
Impaler?
Hardy, there we go.
I'm almost there.
Oh god.
Yeah, let's spawn very quickly.
Grab your stuff before we activate the drill, because it's going to make a big hole in the ground that will kill you if you fall into it.
Democracy has landed.
I have rail cannon. Rail cannon.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone to deploy nuclear payload.
Yeah, and then just walk off. There's another charger.
Run.
This is why you use stun grenades, by the way. Because you can stun him and then hit him with an OPS.
Sweet liberty! I'm doing well. How are you, Darkest Claw?
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
That is a big hole.
It will kill you.
It's like you say it like it's meant to deter me.
You'll lose your samples.
Well, I know, it's just like that's what it worries me. Like you say it like, "Hey, that's a big hole. You want to jump into it?" And it's like, "No, I don't wanna. I don't want to lose my samples." So you just go like, "Are you sure you don't want to jump into it?" Oh,
Sorry.
I did not have the shotgun in hand. No, that was me.
No, you walked in front of the guard dog and it shot you.
No, that's fine. I would have died anyway. Like I said, I did not have the shotgun. I had the grenade launcher. I didn't realize.
But yeah, I know that the idea of infinite healing goes against most tabletop. But we're also not building a traditional tabletop.
I actually don't mind it that much.
I think... I'm thinking in practice it's okay, it's just...
OPS in 7 seconds, I'll deal with the Bile Titan.
What is OPS?
Orbital Precision Strike.
Oh. No, I can take care of it.
Okay.
I got rail cannon.
There's a charger too. I'll deal with the charger.
So, isn't it like almost a shark to the same tier that Ren is?
I missed what you said, sorry.
I got the charger. I think I'll learn how to deal with them.
Impaler?
No, the charger.
I have nothing for this.
This
I'm gonna chuck out this because this is static field.
Oh, never mind.
It'll work if it's okay. The rail.
Poor charger, Jesus Christ.
That one was an impaler.
Oh, that's
so that's the thing that does all those tentacles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I found the nursery chamber.
So what did you say about Ibzan there, Raijin?
Oh, I just asked if he's a shark like Ren.
No, I'm a hyena.
No, we joke about Ren being a shark because he will constantly be like, "Oh, I'm terrible at this kind of thing," and then he winds up getting the best stats out of everybody.
Engaging terminal.
But no, Ibzan has not claimed to be terrible or anything like that. Yet.
East side. And south.
And north.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
God, I love my zappy shotgun.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it. Let's run.
Ah, I want to do it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Well, that took care of the impaler.
Nice.
There was an impaler right over here, and I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god. Quickly turn around, get out the stratagem. Oh, okay.
I like to think you say that, and then we just start seeing like the impaler's like feet start to climb up the side of the giant hole.
Oh no, I see the body. It is dead.
That's sad. Poor impaler.
That sounds like sympathy with an undemocratic enemy there, soldier.
They're perfectly democratic. They democratize the reinforcement process by making sure everyone has to do it. They are democracy's strongest warrior.
That really sounds like anti-democratic talk.
You know what sounds like anti-democratic talk? Grenade launcher.
I have rail cannon strike for this.
Perfect. Just chasing me.
Hey, Chris Ovos. How's that cute little Eevee?
Joining the fray.
Ow.
I'm skipping all this Christmas. Holy crap.
You what?
I'm so depressed looking at all this Christmas candy we have. This is absurd.
Yeah.
Point me to the enemy.
And I did confirm. They have decided that I'm going to be the one working Christmas candy the rest of the time, so this is all me. Oh boy.
Because you're so sweet and lovable.
You're cute. Aw.
Mwah. Not as cute as you. Oh god, Vile Titan!
I have OPS. Oh, right.
Got it, it's fine. There's just something so viscerally satisfying about, like, firing the spray and pray and just looking at the rain of bullets tearing through bugs. Just, the bloodshed is really, really satisfying. This is the one weapon I love shooting corpses with. I appreciate how much
And Darkest Claw, I did see it. I don't know what to respond to that with. I mean, becoming a voice actor is not easy. Good luck. Oh, we need to find those super samples.
I was going to say, it's about time for me to just randomly stumble into the rock, because that normally happens around this point in the mission.
Vile Titan over there.
Just don't.
Ignore it, I know. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, it's good to know where it is. Oh, hello. There's a charger there. Bug breach coming.
What do you get for blowing up those, like, geysers of bugs? Bunch of animals.
Like these bug breaches?
Hmm?
The bug breaches, or?
No, like, there's, like, weird, like, just random holes in the ground that, like, clearly are bug holes, but they're not, like, actively spawning bugs or anything. You, like, throw a floor grenade in them and then they explode when they, like, get the bomb and explode.
I have OPS for charger. Oh, it missed. It bounced.
It's fine. I got orbital laser.
It's dying anyway. Laser.
There's several of them. There's another one around the corner.
Cool. Just cook it. I'm gonna drop my samples off here, because there's no reason not to. And I'm gonna head south for the other objective.
Sounds good.
I'm right behind you. Apparently where Raijin also wants to be.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff coming in. Hang on.
What, did I hear my name?
Just comment that I'm right behind you, and I'm just like, that's probably where Raijin also wants to be.
Calling in orbital strike.
Oh, it is so satisfying seeing those rail cannon shots.
The orbital ones?
Uh-huh.
Yes. The other day when I was watching, you were the first person to, like, do them, that I saw do them. At the instant I saw them, I went over and I bought them. I was like, how have I never seen this before? Yoink. Rip every point of requisition. What do you call them? Like requisition slips?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sending in an eagle.
We've done 3 side objectives. Okay. There might be a 4th round.
I'm surprised that Mala hasn't come back to, you know, tell us about how things have been going with that yet.
Oh, it's a spore spear.
It's because not a whole lot happened at first. I thought he would make a comment about all the stuff with rain, but the combat doesn't start until like halfway through the session, so.
Fair.
The session kind of kicked, it kicked up into high gear a little later. It's like all of the WoW tradition sessions just have a point where Ren starts to lose it, and from there it devolves into like pure silliness, and it's great. And I mean that in like not even like oh this is too silly, not serious, just like
he just always struggles to breathe.
Something like that. Got it.
Nice. So I'm guessing that the rock's going to be over here. Never had that much trouble while uploading escape pod data before.
Ah!
That's... oh god, you're really far.
Well, I was at extraction.
Yeah, I'll just respawn you and I don't know, run back to extract.
Biotitan at extraction. Hello there, John Lovediver.
That's a problem for later.
Yeah.
Point me to the enemy.
I need supplies.
I have resupply pack if you need. Unless we can just spawn a resupply.
Yes. It's just generally with a resupply pack, obviously you want the person with the supply pack to do the resupplying, because they get double action.
I mean, I don't... do they?
Yeah, because you get to refill your supplies, like your ammo and whatnot, and you get supplies, so...
oh, dang.
More efficient.
Oh, here. Come over. Come over.
It's fine, I found stuff on the ground.
Good enough. Okay then. All good. These.
There's many
What do
stims,
you
but
get
there are
for...
stim things here, so...
what do you get for blowing this up?
Nothing, that's just environmental. That's a bottomless hole.
Yeah, well, I throw a grenade in there.
It shouldn't do anything.
It explodes
like...
big.
Oh, I had no idea. I guess that's just
yeah.
environmental that you can use to kill bugs, but it's not a bug hole.
I don't even think I killed bugs.
It did go from being lit like a bug hole to not being lit.
Huh, maybe it is something then. Oh, it's here. I've never thought of that as being a relevant feature on the map before, to be honest.
I don't think it is. I don't think you get anything for it, but I still blow them up all the time because I like to see the explosion.
Oh, you've got quite a few bugs coming in. I'm gonna keep moving.
Look, I like explosions. I really like explosions.
Based opinion.
Until it explodes you.
Yeah, we're on 6 right now.
I was literally about to say I'm so surprised we haven't blown that up yet.
Super credits.
Prosperity. More super. Mag's empty.
Where are the supers? They're not over here.
Freedom never sleeps. Here.
Where are those samples? It's supposed to be a very prominent giant rock.
Yeah, Fetch always calls it the B-plug rock. I'm just like, why do you call it that? Because it looks like
Have you
one.
seen the rock?
And I still don't see it. I look at it and it just doesn't look like one at all.
It's definitely a bit blunter than a typical one.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I look at it and it just looks like a mushroom.
The only
Might be worth
reason-
checking right down in that corner there.
That's what I'm trying to go over. There are bugs.
Found something.
I'm gonna have a look over here.
Southeast, 200 meters.
Metal. Metal. Alas.
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
Well, I'm not seeing it around here.
I found another POI. It's just a hell bomb.
Is what Pandion?
Dropping a pin, northeast, far.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Pandion is a planet. We're not on Pandion. We're on. Or are we on Pandion?
I have no idea.
We were on Short Bay earlier, but that was bots. I think this is Pandion, isn't it?
I just went with the bug
It's got
one.
thick fog. It's got thick fog. It's Pandion.
I don't pay attention to the planet names, really. I just pick whatever one seems to be active and go.
The three most important planets in the galaxy are Super, Earth, and Super Earth.
Don't forget the third one, Malevelon Creek.
That's the fourth one.
Okay, it might be up here.
Northwest, 300 meters.
Because Malevolence Creek is not relevant. Nothing happened in Malevolon Creek. It was a simple, smooth operation executed successfully by the Helldivers. Minimal casualties, maximum effort.
So I did message Mala, and apparently he got caught up in watching and forgot to actually undeafen and talk.
On the other hand, you would have to listen to a speech impediment.
Ah, that is true.
Yes, Jay, I'm still on the phone. Is there a problem with that?
What's up?
I'm so happy at work they don't bother me about this as long
Sorry.
as I just do my job.
Guess one of your coworkers is whining because you're doing a call while working.
Found something.
This is just a door.
Extraction is available.
I think we should just extract.
Wait, I think I see it.
Oh.
It is a very tall, very prominent rock.
I think I see what you're seeing.
I
think we've
don't
already been
think
there.
it's the one, but it might be.
I think we've already been there.
I don't think that's it, but I think this is the right area to look at the moment.
And GabeGab, the whole reason we're doing difficulty 6 is for the freaking super samples.
Oh, okay.
No,
Because
this
of
isn't the one.
so I think it's more fun.
You what?
That's fair. I just do it because I think it's more fun.
Tagging map. Southwest, 100 meters.
I would rather have a slightly more relaxed time blasting bugs than what we deal with on Div 6.
I mean, this is relaxing to me. I achieve, like, a different level of consciousness when I just become one with the grenades.
Oh, hi, random Bile Titan. Let's just make sure you don't become a problem
Can you check
later.
this corner?
300 meters.
One sec.
If you guys want to start extraction, I can run back in time. It'll take me about 3 minutes to get across the map.
Let's quickly give a look over on this part of the map and then head back.
Requesting orbital strike.
Firing orbital strike.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, John. I'm just... We're not finding it. Also, oh god, that's a lot of bugs headed my way.
Walk perpendicular to them. They run in a straight line until they spot a Helldiver. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped.
minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah. I guess we'll just have to extract without.
What if the real sample rock? In fact, what are the real super samples for the friends we made along the way?
Yeah, they definitely did not show up here for us.
Calling in extraction.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Oh, hi!
I'm on my way.
Requesting air support.
Good to know that 500 kg bomb does not take down that Vile Titan.
You have to hit it like right underneath for it to one-shot them.
You're good, I gotcha. Railgun's probably coming. Got it. I'm playing a little risque, but I'm just trying to cover you.
Thank you.
Requesting orbital.
Nading that
Afraid I
area.
do not see the rock still.
How'd you like to chase all burrito?
It's alright, just come on to extraction.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Just got
You get
swarmed
lasered.
by a bunch of hunters.
Ah.
It's much appreciated. I love it when they just like, hello, there's 5 of us. We're all gonna jump at the same time and insta-kill you. It's like, oh, thank you. Just what I wanted for my birthday. I really don't like the hunters. They feel like they deal so much damage and they're like impossible to dodge.
They actually specifically... Oh, that's an impaler. They know where you're aiming, and they move away from it.
That's rude and stupid. And I don't like that.
Okay. Got samples? There's samples on the ground to the south.
Oh. I'm already in.
I'll be sure to grab them. You're the only one there.
I'm gonna see if I can grab them. Yeah, I can.
Come on, come on, come on!
No.
We don't have
No.
the fucking.
No!
We don't have the experimental infusion. I forgot that. I was expecting the speed boost. Yeah. I generally look at the ground for samples before getting on the thing. Because after Gib Gab died, there was some.
No, I died for a way, but there was only like 4 rare samples that I dropped because I dropped most of them at spawn.
I forgot we didn't have experimental infusion.
Hmm. I mean, it's fine. We'll just find you next time we come to this planet, right? I mean, to be I know the samples are important, but honestly, I just play to have the highest kill number. As long as I
The
have
samples are pretty much the entire reason I play at the moment.
And I just play for the kills. If my number is bigger than everyone else's, I win in my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, Juan. Well, at least there's just there's a nice fresh clone of my good boy waiting.
Also, my number's bigger, so.
Yeah. This time.
Okay. One more mission, and I think I'm going to be done with this game for the night.
Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Makes sense. Finish off the operation.
Well, it's also this particular mission. I like this mission.
Honestly, the name Juan, like Juan's name, still throws me off. It's like I read the Juan and the one in Spanish. Like I read Juan and Uno in Spanish, and then I read the one in Spanish as well. So it's just Juan One Uno, not like Juan One One or Juan One Uno. I just it it messes with my mind every time. It's not even the name's fault. This is me. It's a me skill issue. I really hope they rework the machine gun, TBH.
What about it?
Look, as far as I know, they're doing like the current like machine gun being given to you in the stratagem to like gather data on the machine gun.
Well, they just did the major order for the machine gun, the stalwart, and the heavy machine gun.
Yeah, because like I think they're still working on the machine gun. Because I think the stalwart is good. Heavy machine gun probably fine. Like the machine gun, like just the.
The machine gun is the most popular of the three.
Really?
Yeah, we saw that in the major order. The machine gun is the one that completed the 50 million Terminid kills. Stalwart in second place, heavy machine gun in last. And it makes sense because the heavy machine gun is much harder to aim. Like it takes.
Wait, is the one we
more.
have currently available the heavy machine gun or the machine gun?
The regular machine gun.
Yeah, I mean I like the machine gun. The heavy machine gun is just weird.
Yeah, it works really nicely if you have the Viper Commandos armor with peak physique.
Yeah, it just feels very niche.
It is. The ammo restriction on it is also a big problem. It only has two extra magazines, whereas the machine guns will have 3. So like, yeah, people. The best use of the Stalwart, I think, is to use it like a primary if you're using a very situational primary weapon. If you bring like an exploding crossbow or an eruptor, the Stalwart's a really good thing to pair with it.
Yeah. Because what you want fundamentally is like a thing your primary weapon can't already do.
Defend democracy at any cost.
Calling down support weapon.
Orbital inbound.
Oh, dang it.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Clearly it got some use because it's got some, there's a few more things for it to vaporize in there.
Green. Oh no, the laser.
Then just likes the smell of cooked Terminid in the morning.
Reinforcing. Requesting air support.
Tagging map. Northeast. Close. Requesting orbital strike.
Outpost cleared.
Reloading.
Alright, I'm gonna head up to the north for the power generator.
Dropping a pin. Southeast.
Right behind you.
meters.
Aha, you have seen how to beat the party. Just gotta use Nova against them.
About time you finally came back.
I've been busy watching, okay? I'm sucked into the game, sue me.
So, thoughts so far?
It's a good time. Yeah. Ah.
Complete with what Rain was going through?
Yeah? Rain is... Yeah, well, that's some stuff I look to see. What's gonna happen with that?
Oh, it's gonna be
Oh,
great.
you love to see it, huh? It is gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Ren's gonna die when he finds out.
But he's already dead.
I'm on the terminal. Oh.
It's been good round of that game.
Well, I'm going back to watching, eager to for more.
Yeah, Zem, you've done a fantastic job.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Helldiver reporting to the
I'm really glad that people have been enjoying it. Like, it's been nice to have people, nice to run a game again, for sure.
I'm on it. Out of ammo.
Oh, good boy.
Making progress.
You know me, I'm off to play fetch.
Great. Fetch those super samples.
Yes, master.
Hey, there has to be a ball for someone to be able to fetch it.
South, 100 meters.
Tagging map. East, 200 meters.
Objective located.
But yeah, Wild Traditions has just been so refreshing to listen to. I was gonna say early on there was a point where I think it was Spike was no, maybe it was, I don't remember who, but I remember thinking you made them do a lore check instead of just telling them a thing. And I was like, yes, people need to do rolls. This is good.
Yeah, sometimes they don't just know whatever it is. I got this.
Okay, I got it.
Calling in a hell bomb. Hell bomb armed. Clear the area.
Terminate hive structure.
Found something.
Alright. To the ICBM.
Sample hunting.
What was that?
I'm sample hunting.
Okay. I care about being moved. What was that?
There's a door here. We can swing by later.
I just remember where it is.
That's called democracy.
And we'll stop on by.
I do wonder when they're going to introduce more factions.
They teased the Illuminate pretty hard and then, like, didn't, so...
From what I understand, there's supposed to be, like, 2 other factions. And, like, they've cleared the area for them to pop in at.
Who needs a mortar when you can just be the mortar?
This post made by Green Bugs.
No, I was making it as a grenade launcher.
Oh, the green file spewers are also...
I know. They're trying to mortar me, but I'm just a better mortar than they are.
Evidently.
Sample collected.
Oh, there were a bunch of bugs in here.
Objective nearby.
Engaging terminal.
Calling in a hell bomb.
I'm on it.
Hell bomb armed. Clear the area.
Hell bomb.
I'm on it.
Tagging map. Southeast. 200 meters.
Oh, for one of those.
Yeah.
Tactical asset nearby.
Ooh, Sief artillery is fun.
I got the terminal. Package acquired.
Hate it because, like, it takes so long to do it, and I have to walk so slowly for so long. And then I, like, use it once.
I know, right?
It's just too slow to fire.
I think it is, yeah. And the cooldown's quite long. I would like it if they made it quite a bit faster.
I would like it if it was
Like,
like a...
I think it needs to be comparable with OPS, personally.
What I'd like with it is I'd love for it to be like a burst. Like, okay, look, I just put all these shells in it. Can I just, like, bang, 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 fire 5 shells in one go? Because then I'd love to use it. Like, imagine being able to just... Oh, look, there's an nest in there. Queue up,
Yeah,
it fires, queue up, fires, bang, 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 bang.
Less bothered about that, personally. Because the thing I tend to use it for is anti-tank.
Maybe.
And for anti-tank, you don't need burst. You need precision.
Dropping a pin. Northwest. 100 meters.
I mean, I can see it. I just, you know... at least to me, that's what it makes sense with it.
The thing with burst is you have all the different types of shells, right? So, you know, if you fire a mini nuke and then a smoker, then a static field, it's
Oh, yeah. Maybe they should... Maybe they should flip it around, you know? Maybe, like, just have the shells already be loaded in there, and you just choose the configuration you want when you're, like, turning it on.
Requesting air support.
I'm so glad they buffed the 500k.
Now head to the extraction point.
Woo! Big Boom! Yes!
Tagging map. East, 200 meters. Package acquired. Dropping package.
I don't have a problem. You've got a problem. You know, I love how I was able to set off that ICBM just fine, no problems, and then the bugs decide to come out as soon as I launch it.
Oh yeah. Bugs always appear when least opportune.
Sending in an eagle.
I have a 500.
Finish C, finally. It takes forever. I hate that objective.
Freedom.
I assume you know about the faster ways of carrying the shells.
Hmm?
I assume you know about the faster ways of carrying shells.
No. Why would I know about anything other than just pick up the shell and move it?
So you can drop the shell after you pick it up, and then run slightly past it, and then pick it up again, and that will make you run significantly faster.
I'm not saying that doesn't work, I'm just saying it feels like a band-aid for the...
It is, yes,
The
but
gunshot
it makes it a
wound.
bit faster. The other thing you can do is you can launch shells. If you pick up a shell, but before it reaches your hands, swap from your primary to secondary weapon, it will toss the shell into the air.
That's too much bother. I'd rather just...
Yes, it's a faff to do.
bother.
You may proceed to extraction when ready. Outpost cleared.
I missed you. By like a hair. Oh my goodness.
Democracy protects.
Yeah, from what?
You.
Okay, let's test it.
You better not be planning to do anything untoward to my pet there, Gip Gap.
I can see the momentary...
Gip Gap.
I saw the momentary flicker of fear. And I'm
He
just
is
happy I
a
can
good boy, and you will respect him, good God.
The more you say that, the more I just want to fire the
stalkers.
grenade launcher.
Stalker there. It's there.
How do you know?
Because it has a... If you look at it on the map, let me move my ping. You see...
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
There?
With the
Yeah,
cool-
it's quite distinctive. I was going to run to here first, but then I'll go and deal with the stalkers.
So misclick, and I am so happy I didn't blow myself up.
300 meters.
Yeah, most of the secondary objectives in the game are actually quite distinctive on the map.
That's fair.
Like the artillery, you can see the circles of the platforms it's built on. Usually a sample or two over here. No. There's something to the south.
Alright, so the stalker nest is where Gip Gap pinged?
Yes. This is a door.
Okay, you two got that. Hey, Rowan!
Tagging map. West, 100 meters.
Oh god.
Rail cannon. Reinforcing.
Okay. Got that taken care of.
I thoroughly enjoy this game. But I think...
Ah no, the laser.
I think those...
There was a hunter and I couldn't shoot it fast enough and the laser dealt with two of us at the same time.
I wanted to keep playing. But I think this just broke me above all else. I was doing fine. Everything was fine. And then I'm running away, right? And I'm looking at the bugs behind me as I shoot them. And then I turn my camera just as I notice myself start to fall a suspicious amount of distance. So I'm thinking momentarily like, oh, I probably just fell down like something, right? No, my samples are now at the bottom of this bottomless hole.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall
I found the rock.
Good boy.
Raided my stream with 9 viewers.
I also
Hey,
found a stalker.
Cobalt. Good to see you. How are ya? How was your stream? Oh, that rock is nowhere near as big as I thought it was.
Behind. I'm under-equipped at the moment. Brood Commander. I didn't get to retrieve my machine gun or drone.
I am just dealing with a bunch of stuff right now. Sorry. Oh. Okay, but yeah. Cobalt, hello! Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome in. Your stream was great. Good to hear. Would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up?
Ready to liberate.
Tactical asset within range.
Calling in orbital strikes.
And welcome in everybody, I am Razim. We do all sorts of things here. Right now we are doing some Helldivers 2. And just generally having a good time hanging out together and stuff. Alright, I got the super samples. I am making a beeline for extraction.
Tagging map, north, 50 meters. Calling in extraction.
Oops.
Area is dead.
Extraction shuttle
Spike
inbound.
down B. Last player standing.
Oh man.
Oh, I was like, last player standing, what? I was... Thank you for doing the clip there, Gift Gap.
Sage killed.
I just...
Oh god! Bile Titan!
What's that?
What? Let's fucking go!
That's all I had.
Couldn't get the rail cannon, that's fine.
Sure, you can just sink into the ground there.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
I was gonna say, it doesn't look very dead. Isn't dead? It is dead.
Sending in an eagle.
Ow!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way. ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
Democracy has
You pick up the samples?
Yeah, I've got them.
Good.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Bug breach.
Oh god!
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the instruction zone.
Let's come on! Hurry up here, please!
It's fine. I got it.
Alright, get on.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Extraction complete. Pelican 1
Oh.
Victory was never in doubt.
I still can't believe I fell into one of the bottomless holes. I'm so peeved.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I don't particularly like them being in the game.
I like exploding them. I don't know what else they're supposed to be doing. Zen? Why do you seem to perform better in the game when it's a nuke mission?
Because explosions.
Sometimes I wonder if you're in it for democracy or for the nukes.
You see, Gip Gap. You see. Nukes are democracy.
Hmm. I suppose you could view the atomic fission as the democratization of energy.
Many heroes.
Yeah, everyone gets a little bit of energy.
Today. They will be remembered.
By a little bit, I mean the lethal amount.
A very lethal amount.
Ah, it's nice getting a bunch of medals from stuff. I have unlocked something new and potentially suitable.
I hate when you do the stratagem here and it gives you like 3 really long ones in a row. Like, bro, please.
Okay. Well, I think that's enough of this game for tonight. And no worries, Cobalt. Rest well. Thank you so much for sharing your community with me. We're going to be switching up games here. That was fun, but stressful. So let's go do something a bit more relaxing.
Oh god, you're still going.
Ibs. Get over here and hug me. Good boy. Alright. Alright, gotta update the credits. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us so far on the stream tonight. That was Helldivers 2. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They're on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as picking up some merch over at zgfgaming.store, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by sending a treat through TreatStream. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.